3.1 Measures of Central Tendency. Number 1. The data show the heights in feet of 14 roller coasters. Find the mean, median, mid-range, and mode of the data. So let's start with the mean. Mean is equal to the sum of all the x's, which is all the numbers add up together. Each number is looked at as an x, and divided by the total number of numbers in the data set. So I'm going to use the calculator to help us a little bit to take away the busy work. Before I started the video, I went into Stat Edit, I went into your list 1, and I enter all 14 numbers. Once you're done, get back out to the main list, main screen. Second stat, which is list, and number, we'll move over to map. Number 5 is the sum. I want the sum of L1. That tells me the sum of all 14 numbers is 1457, and I'm going to divide by the total of 14 numbers. So divided by 14, I get 104.07, and I'll round that to 104.1. Make sure you are able to communicate the work to me and show me that you understand how to compute mean. You know the concept of mean. The reason I'm saying that is, if you notice when I went over 2-second stat over to map, I could also use number 3, mean of L1. And that tells me the mean is 104.07, but all that did was showing me that you know how to press buttons on the calculator. It doesn't tell me that you understand the concept of mean. Okay? Next, median. Well, median is defined as the middle number when everything is arranged in order. When there are 14 numbers, which is an even count, there's no middle number. So you're going to take the middle 2, which is the 7th and the 8th, and find the mean of those two. So the busy work would be arranging these numbers in order. So I'm going to use the calculator to help us. Stat number 2, which is for A. A means ascending. So when I put in L1, I'm asking the calculator to sort the list in L1 in ascending order. Press enter, it says done. Going back to the list, all the numbers are now arranged in order. The 7th number is 102. The 8th number is 102. So 102 plus 102 divided by 2 is 102. Again, please make sure you show me the work that you understand. When there are 14 numbers, you must average the middle 2. Mid-range. Mid-range is the smallest plus the largest divided by 2. It looks like the smallest number is 50, and the largest number looks like it's 160. And I'm going to divide that by 2, and that would give us 210 divided by 2, which is 105. Lastly, mode, or modes if you have more than one. It looks like, let's see, for 95 there are 2 of them. There are 2 95s, and then there are 2 102s, and there are 2 160s. So the modes would be 95, 102, and 160. Number 15. The data show the number of points the winning team scored in the Rose Bowl. And you're asked to find the mean and the modal class for the data. So this is group data. And in group data, there are 10 winning teams that scored between 14 and 20 points. But you don't know exactly what the scores were. For all we know, all 10 teams could have scored 14, or all 10 of them scored 20. Since we don't know the exact numbers, we're going to use midpoint of the class to represent what that number is. So we're going to find the midpoints for each class. Recall, to find midpoint, you take 14 plus 20 divided by 2, and that will give you 17. You can do the same thing, 21 plus 27 divided by 2, that will give you 24. Or the class width, you can take 21 minus 14, the class width is 7. So you can just add 7 from the first midpoint and keep adding 7 to get the subsequent midpoints. So the next one will be 31, 38, 38 plus 5 plus 7 is 45, plus 45 plus 7, 52. So I'm going to use the midpoints to represent each class. It's the same as saying 10 teams score 17 points, 11 teams score 24 points. We know not all 11 teams score 24 points, but 24 is the best estimate for the class of 21 through 27. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Since there are 10 teams scored 17 points, you multiply them, that gives you the total number of points scored by those 10 teams. Therefore, so I'm going to have the midpoints in the first column, which I'm going to end up putting in list 1. And the frequency, so these midpoints are also called x's. Okay, and these are this. I'm going to put frequencies in the second column. And in the interest of time, before I started this problem, I entered the data in L1, L2. So it's set up and ready to go. And in L3, I'm going to do x times f. 17 times 10, 24 times 11. That would give you the total number of points scored. So to do that, I'm going to move over to L3, highlight L3, define L3 as L1 times L2. Okay? Remember, you have to communicate your work to me, so I'm going to write down the data here, 264, 186, 304, 180, and 52. So the mean is going to be approximately, and I didn't use equal to because, again, we don't know the exact points scored. So it's going to be the sum of x times f divided by the n, the number of data points in your table. So sum of x times f will be the sum of L3. So second quit, second step, over to math, number 5, sum of L3. So that gives us 1156, 1156. That's the total number of points scored for all the winning teams. And is the same as the sum of frequencies. So I'm going to add up, I'm going to find the sum. Number 5, the sum of list 2. 40. So take the total number of points scored divided by the number of teams, 40. That will give us the mean. So 28.9. Now, the second part of the question asked us the modal class for the data. Well, the answer is going to be 21 through 27, because that's the class with the highest frequency. Okay, so that's number 1 and number 15 for lesson 3.1.